Greetings, everyone. This is Gerard, aka Double OG, Mr. Vegas the Sun, representing the purple one, the Continental, the Prince of Wannabes. Editor-in-Chief of SGIB Magazine. I stand for Soldiers Guiding Intentions. Believe that, because everyone should be soldiering for something, a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. And owner PBG's Production stands for Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography. And CEO of the Burrow Corporation, that's BERYL, that stands for Be Ever Remembering Your Love. Well, right now, I'm still in Cebu, Philippines, and I was going to go to the gym, but the gym was closed for observance of the holiday. First I went there, they said it usually opens up at 6:30, and they said it opened at 7:30, so I waited, it didn't open. And then I finally spoke to somebody, and they said it probably won't open up to about after 12. Okay, so the reason I'm wet is not from working out, but for having a nice cold compress or rag or cloth around my neck. What I thought I'd do today is give you an idea of what goes on in here, where I'm at, and what type of news I receive, or we receive, or what is received around the world about the countries that comprise us as an international family. Okay, so I'm getting this from the Saya News, which is Manila's Bulletin newspaper. So I want to thank them, because it's always important to acknowledge, to me anyway, where I get my sources from. And of course today is, let me stop playing and put on my glasses. I haven't picked up my new ones yet. I'm looking forward to that, but let me stop playing and put these on. I see you. Okay. All right. So this is March 15th, 2017. Of course, we have the news of Donald Trump, President Trump dropping the biggest bomb yet in the war on terrorists, or in the war on actually anything yet. For whatever reason, you know, I guess ISIS, I'm not trying to politicize anything. I'm just calling it as I see it. You know, I'm not trying to pick what side, who's right, who's wrong, or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that. All I'm looking at it as, I am a member of an international community, and I'm not a sheep, meaning that I don't follow. I'd rather read my own information, take what I want from it, and formulate my own opinions. In other words, it's okay to agree to disagree. I think that's the best way to say it. So we heard about that. Also in Kuwait, not in Kuwait, in Iraq, they have captured a Kuwait explosive expert of a terrorist group of ISIS, and deported him back to his home country in Kuwait, which is a good thing, you know, where they've been wanting him, you know, for the longest time, so they got a hold of him. And of course, tourists are still coming despite travel advisories. And I read about the travel advisories. Even here I am in Cebu, there's a travel advisories against tourists. But it stated that they are still coming, which is a good thing. I mean, you know, terrorists only wins when it truly affects our lives, and when we now, me, I'm a chicken. I'll tell you straight up. I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken in LA, chicken in New York, chicken in Arizona, chicken in North Carolina. I'm a chicken. Mostly because, you know, I only went where my camera took me. And without my camera, I feel, you know, I have nothing to offer. So I'm one of those who are only there whenever I have something to offer. And if I don't feel like paying the cost to be there, then I don't be there. And so then whatever happens around me, I find of interest to take from it. So also President Duterte met with King Hassan bin, I can't pronounce these names, but it's BINLSA Khalifa of Bahrain. Now, if you don't know Bahrain is a part of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia seems to always be able to skirt itself around a lot of the problems or situations that go on in this world, including with 9/11, in the travel ban that went across the world, except for those from Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia seems to be neutral, and at some point transparent. Nobody seems to be able to see it. But also, he met with the president here in the Philippines, and they signed an agreement. They signed a total of 4 documents. One of the documents was to ensure that the safety and protection of Filipino workers on foreign soils are protected, which I think is a good message. Which I think is a good plan to protect its own citizens even abroad. Also, Black Friday was observed. It had its very high attendance that it's had in a long time. I think 41% of adults who attended some type of religious ceremony over the weekend, which is good. Just thinking 41% of U.S. citizens attended some type of worship service. You know, I think we could almost say that would be a good thing. Also, I wanted to point out to you was that the Filipino Army had 13 new generals appointed. So I tried reading their names, but get it. But I just want to say congratulations to those generals, because I know if they're appointed, they are appointed in good credentials. They are appointed in good status, and I know they have the people of the Philippines in their focus. So to you generals, I congratulate you and salute you, and good luck in your new positions. Also, 48% of Filipinos attended religious services weekly. Top attendance in a long time, which was good. So that's a beautiful thing. Also, one of the things I wanted to point out was that just imagine if you lived in a country where they're really concerned about the children, then maybe you would read something like this in the posts and the papers in the United States. It's a travel advisory on road safety. It said now that the holiday week is almost over, and many will soon go home from their trips, and health groups urge vacationers to observe proper road safety measures. In a statement, the New Vote Association of the Philippines, that's NVAP, told the vacationers to be more careful while driving home, to think about the children. Most especially, we are traveling with them. According to the Department of Health of 2016, injuries reportedly system children ages 0 to 19 years up at a most 29% of the total vehicle crash related injuries in 2016. Every day, around 263 children fall victim to road crashes, as estimated by the Department of Transportation and Communications. The NVAP statement yesterday, Good Friday, with this road crash survivors and the young advocates of the NVAC remind the public on the importance of using seatbelts. Now, here in the Philippines, I don't see a whole lot of observance of seatbelts. Where I'm at in Cebu, I guess mostly, like I mentioned before, they very seldom go over 30 miles an hour around here, 25 probably tops. So seatbelts is not used. You don't see it. We're not traveling at high rates of speed here. I don't know what it is in other provinces around Cebu, but as far as here, I know seatbelts are not used as frequently as they are in the States. Well, they probably don't have a mandate or a regulation like they have here. Okay, but something else, Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio G. Cardinal, Tagle, these names are going to kill me, appeared Friday during a walk of life in Manila to fight the culture of death. And let me just point out a couple of things that he said. He said, let us not allow a culture where killing becomes natural to spread, because we might get used to it to the point that we are now no longer aware that we are already spreading such mentality or way of life that brings death. He told the fateful gathering outside Manila. He also said, life is offering the life for others. That is the kind of culture that we will use to counter the culture of death. We cannot remain mere spectators and then complain, he said. Let us all do something in our small way, on how we can further strengthen the propagate the culture of love, further strengthen and appropriate the culture of love, care, support, and respect that promise life. I think that's beautiful. How about you? Okay, let me see what else that I pointed out that I want to share with you. I want to share with you that we got the news. This is News Bites that I got up, and it talked about in Florida how do you celebrate 40 years or no? We heard that Gardner and Affleck filed a divorce. In Japan, a girl slain. I don't want to read about that. 5 dead in a protest in Venezuela. In Venezuela, they had a protest against the government for whatever reason why they were protesting, but it ended up in 5 being killed. That's a totalitarianism government where it's not so much of government of the people, but more closely to a dictatorship. Whereas that complaining against the government can also mean, the ending of your life. They don't play that, homie, like we do in the United States. And we heard about the scary ride on Baltimore where cats were stranded up on the Ferris wheel. But the reason why I wanted to read all that, because I really found a story that was interesting to me about the United States. And here it is. I spoke about other cultures here and what have you, but now in the United States, 7 men on death row to be executed in Arkansas. 7. Wait till you hear this. Arkansas intends on executing 7 death row inmates between Monday and the 27th of April, a pace never seen since the United Supreme Court authorized the death penalty in 1976. Arkansas governor initially set forth double executions so that the state, now listen to this, so that the state could use the key execution drug before the 30-day expiration date by the federal judge stay one execution. In other words, he wants to speed up the execution of these people before the drug that state has expires. I mean, can you be more insensitive about life? Can you be more insensitive about fair play? Can you be more insensitive, than to speed up executions because the drug that you use to kill people might expire? I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely, granted, the men did some things, they did crimes, and you gotta remember in some countries, like Canada, whatever, they don't even recognize the death penalty. England don't even recognize, a lot of countries don't even recognize the death penalty. They're ready to give you life in prison. Be there and ask them, hey, even if it is the death penalty, the reason you should be given your sentence of death, that's fine. But after you have exhausted all your appeals, do you think it's fair? Do you think it's right for them to say, okay, our drug on our shelves is about ready to expire, so I'll tell you what, let's speed up our executions. Not only that, let's double them. Let's do 2 at a time. It's not funny. United States, it's not funny. It's a shame. An Arkansas judge, Arkansas Governor Hinsman, or what? Let me see what his name is. Hexinson, H-T-U-H-I-N-S-O-N. You should be ashamed of yourself. With that, that's it. This is Gerard, a.k.a. Double G, Mr. Vegas the Sun, representing several. the prince of wannabes. And remember, if you haven't got a dream, a goal, an idea, train of thought, don't worry about it. Do what I do. Get as much you can, as fast you can, and go home. And remember, I'll always love you more. And as Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of The Temptation, once said in his song, Treat Her Like a Lady, if you got one, do just that. Like I'm doing with mine. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Peace. And God bless. And happy Easter.